In the bright morning light of the big city, a very special worker was starting his day. This was no ordinary construction worker. This was Charlie, the construction cat. With his tiny yellow safety vest snug and his little hard hat perfectly balanced between his ears, Charlie trotted down the sidewalk. The city was just waking up, with cars humming by and tall buildings reaching for the sky. Charlie loved the early mornings. It was the perfect time to make sure everything in the city was safe and sound before the real hustle and bustle began. He swung his tail with purpose, ready for whatever adventure the day might bring. Suddenly, Charlie stopped in his tracks, his big green eyes wide with surprise. Right in the middle of the main road was a gigantic delivery truck. It was so big, it blocked everything. Cars were stopped behind it, their lights blinking, and drivers were looking around, confused. The truck wasn't moving an inch. Oh dear, this was a major traffic jam. Charlie knew he had to do something. As the city's top construction cat, it was his job to keep things moving smoothly. He put his paws on his hips, his little brow furrowed in thought. How could one small cat move one giant truck? Charlie's eyes scanned the area for a solution. Aha! He spotted a large rubbish bin on the sidewalk. Maybe, he thought, if I can push this into the right spot, it could help somehow. He crouched down, took a deep breath, and pushed against the big green bin with all his might. He grunted and strained, his little legs trembling. The bin wobbled a little but barely moved. He pushed harder and harder, his face scrunched up in a comical expression of effort. He was so focused on pushing that he didn't see the small puddle of water right behind him. His back paws slipped. Whoops! Charlie went tumbling backward, his paws flying through the air. But instead of a hard landing, he fell right onto a stack of soft, orange traffic cones. Bowing, he bounced gently, like landing on a squishy trampoline. He sat up, a little dizzy, with a cone wobbling on his head like a funny party hat. He shook his head, a bit embarrassed but completely unharmed. Well, that plan didn't work. Pushing the bin was a no-go. It was time for plan B, whatever that was. He needed a new idea, and this time, he knew he couldn't do it alone. Looking up at the sky and then around the street, Charlie had a brilliant thought. He didn't have big muscles, but he did have a lot of friends. He let out a series of special chirps and meows, a secret code known only to his animal pals. In moments, a flock of city birds swooped down, landing on the lampposts and fences around him, all looking at him expectantly. Then, from a nearby park, a small, scruffy dog with a wagging tail came bounding over. He was carrying something in his mouth, a long, sturdy rope. Teamwork, that was the answer. Charlie's heart swelled with hope. Together, they could do anything. Now it was time to put the plan into action. Charlie, the little dog, and all the birds got to work. The birds cleverly flew the rope up and over the front of the huge truck, dropping the ends down on either side. Charlie and the dog grabbed one end, and more animal friends who had heard the commotion, a few stray cats and a family of squirrels, grabbed the other. Ready? Charlie meowed. With a mighty pull, the whole team of animals leaned back, their little paws and claws digging into the pavement. The ropes went tight. At first, the truck didn't budge. They pulled again, all together, chanting, "Heave, ho, heave, ho." Slowly, very slowly, one of the truck's giant wheels began to turn. It was working. With one final, mighty pull, the huge truck lurched forward and began to roll. It coasted down the slight hill and came to a stop in a proper parking spot, completely clearing the road. The jam was over. The animals all let go of the rope and started cheering. Birds chirped, the dog barked happily, and Charlie threw his paws in the air with a triumphant meow. Suddenly, the sky filled with colorful confetti, as if the city itself was celebrating their victory. The stopped cars started to honk their horns, not in anger, but in thanks. Charlie looked at his amazing team of friends, his heart full of pride. It just goes to show, no problem is too big when you have good friends and work together. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of Charlie's adventures.